I am on a mission. I've tried all sorts of delicious food on this channel, but you know the one thing I haven't done? I haven't tried the worst food I can find. And today we're fixing that because I need to be humbled food-wise. I've eaten too much delicious stuff. And later in this video, the king of eating bad food is gonna help us out. Without further ado, let's go to our first restaurant, allegedly the worst fast food chain in America, White Castle. So we are at a White Castle. I've only ever been to a White Castle one single time in my life, and it was for I Am Cherry's breakfast food video. And to my recollection, the food was mid. It was atrociously average. Here's what the article said. I had White Castle while I was on vacation. All right, weird vacation food choice, but I digress. And it has never stuck out to me. The sliders and burgers are dry, hard, and flavorless. It took so long to get our food, and it was mid. Yes. The article said it was mid. All right, I'm done stalling. I have low expectations. Let's eat some White Castle. No, thank you. Thank you. You have a blessed one. My bag is covered in grease, so I'm hoping that means my food is hot and greasy. Huh? If that makes sense. Like good greasy, not bad greasy. For my side, they had cheesy tots, or they were called 3 cheese tots, and I got curious. This is what it looks like. It honestly just kind of looks like a tater tot. It's rubbery. Why is it rubbery? That's the weirdest thing. How is something deep fried rubbery? Yeah, no, not good. But the real test is what the article talked about. The sliders. The article said that they were dry, hard, and flavorless, and we're gonna find out if they're lying or not. I can tell you one thing, it is not hard. It's actually really squishy. You see that? It's squishy. But like, dude, look at the patty meat. It is like a piece of paper. Like, there's no substance to this. This and these tots cost me $8. I gotta debunk the article. These are not hard, and they are not dry, but they are flavorless. They're pretty flavorless. Let me go back to these rubbery tots, which for some reason weren't upcharged.
He claims to hate the tots, but continues to eat them.
It's like nothing you want it to be and everything you don't want it to be, but in ball form. We're gonna give White Castle a solid 2.5 out of 10. That really was not a good experience. Just a reminder, we are trying to find the worst restaurant chain in America, so whoever has the lowest score is actually going to be the winner. Or the loser. It depends on how you look at it, I guess. I'm done talking about White Castle, and I hope I'm done eating it for the rest of my life. It's time to move on to our next restaurant, which is the worst seafood restaurant in America, which is scary. I don't know if you've ever had bad seafood, but it's scary. The worst seafood restaurant in America is Captain D's. Nuts. Sorry, it's low-hanging fruit, I know, but I feel mildly uncomfortable right now because this Captain D's is on the corner of a very, very busy intersection. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I don't know if the mic's picking it up. But allegedly, Captain D's is the worst seafood restaurant in America. When I told my dad that I was going here this morning, though, he was quite excited and was like, oh, that place is good. So I don't know if my dad has bad taste or if the article that I got this from is wrong. They have a sit-down area on the inside, but I'm actually going to go through the drive-thru. So let's head to the car and let's read some reviews. For context, here's a review of Captain D's. Save yourself and just go get some frozen food and microwave it. This has to be the worst. It is not even close to Long John Silver's. Before we try the food, I actually have a special guest for this video. Someone you might think of when you hear this song. And no, I'm not talking about a Fortnite character. I'm talking about fellow YouTuber I Am Cherry.
I am who?
Yes, I'm finally putting him in one of my videos after he put me in one of his 3 months ago. I mean, better late than never, am I right? Or we could say better Nate than never. Okay, sorry. I'm currently doing a video where I'm eating bad food, and you're like the king of eating at dying restaurants, bad hotels. Do you have any advice you could give someone who's gonna be eating bad food for the first time?
Always go with the best menu items, all right? Always go with the best ones. You gotta always ask what's the best menu items, because if it's already the worst restaurant in America, why, try to experiment? Oh, that looks good. No. You go to the counter and say, what's the best?
All right, so the burning question. What do you think is the worst restaurant in America?
The worst restaurant in America is...
Don't worry. More on that later.
I have a fish and shrimp meal.
All right, I got a lot of food. Essentially, he upsold me on everything. I ended up getting an extra side of Hush Puppies because this guy was so persuasive. And I think that'll be it for me.
For $1.99, can I issue 5 more Hush Puppies?
You know, you always can. Yes, you can. What do you say when your dog's being loud? Hush, puppy.
Oh, brother.
Come on, that was good. That is good. That's really good, actually. When I told my dad this place was rated the worst seafood restaurant in America, he was like, but how? Their hush puppies are amazing. And you know what? My dad was right. But the main event, the reason I'm here, is the hopefully safe to eat seafood. I'm gonna open it towards you first so you can see it before I do.
I noticed a severe lack of shrimp.
I ordered the fish and shrimp, and there's no shrimp. I'm so incredibly sad about that. But instead of going back in and being like, hey, you guys forgot some of my food, I'm gonna hold it against them in their score. Yeah, take that, Captain D's nuts. I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't do it again. Let's try this fish. This doesn't look like fish. It looks like a breadstick. It's just really plain. Like there's no seasoning with the breading. He did tell me that some people like to put vinegar on their fish. So I ordered a pack of that too. And now we have a very strong smelling fish. Oh my gosh. That guy was onto something. That's okay. That's pretty decent. It's definitely like super low quality though. It's not like flaky like a real fish, which leads me to believe it's some sort of like artificial fish-like substance. I also got a side of mac and cheese because I also really like mac and cheese. So let's try the mac and cheese. That's amazing. Mac and cheese alone almost makes up for the shrimp, but not quite. It's like top tier mac and cheese from a fast food place at least. All in all, this is not worse than White Castle. I can tell you that much. This is gonna get a rating of a 4 out of 10. It's not like god awful, but I'm definitely not going to go out of my way to come back here. For our next restaurant, we're gonna be going to the worst buffet in America, Golden Corral. Now, this was actually a close race between Golden Corral and CeCe's Pizza. But this place was chosen because of an article I read that not only had Golden Corral as the worst buffet in America, but listed as the worst restaurant overall. I mean, look at this review that they wrote. It's too long. I'm not going to read it all, but you can see how long it is. They really don't like this place. Since I'm not reading this, I will read you a review that was written about this specific location. So much of the food was cold and dry. We went here as a family of 8 and spent $150 for bad food and horrible service. 1 star. I'm conflicted because I actually remember this place being pretty good. This used to be one of my family's go-to spots for birthdays. But to be fair, the place could have aged horribly. I mean, look at this photo. This is a photo of me in this exact Golden Corral. Look what I look like. Now here's me now. There's about 18 years between these 2 photos, or I guess one of these is a video. Without further ado, let's go inside and let's see if my memory holds up. So I came in, and before I did anything, I instantly went ahead and grabbed a plate and started grabbing some of the food that I remember being good from here. Because quite frankly, I'm on the side of like, this place cannot be bad. Okay, I used to love this place, and as a kid, I thought this was the best food I've ever had in my life. When I heard we were going to Golden Corral, I was excited. And then to make up for the fact that Captain D's didn't give me my shrimp, I went ahead and also grabbed some shrimp while I was up there. The place is also jumping. It is a Tuesday morning at like 1:30 p.m. and there's a lot of people here. Well, since I apparently decided to just stop talking at this point, here's a shot of me eating the fried chicken that I got from the buffet. That genuinely might have been one of my favorite bites of fried chicken I've ever had in my life. I'm not even kidding with you. Before you freak out and before you leave a really mean comment that's gonna hurt my self-esteem, that opinion does end up changing, and I promise I explain in just a moment. We're gonna go after the mac and cheese next. I told you I remember this being one of my favorite mac and cheeses I've ever had. The flavor of it's not that amazing, but there's no better mac and cheese texture. Now we got the shrimp. That is a beefy fried shrimp right here. A whole shrimp. It's really not bad. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. While I use the magic of the time lapse to demolish my first plate, here's what I Am Cherry had to say when I asked what he thought of Golden Corral.
Golden Corral is horrible. I have a strong opinion on buffets in general. All right, buffets are insane. Like, the food is literally left out for people to touch, put back, sneeze around and all that. Like, nah. Everything about buffets scare me. All right, I have to change my mind on something after eating more of it. My first 2 bites of the chicken were delicious, juicy, crispy, any other word you could use that makes you want to eat more chicken. But once I got to the point of where I am now with my chicken, every bite is now dry. It is now second plate time. This one I got a little weird. I didn't know they had stuff to make tacos at Golden Corral. To be 100% honest, the meat kind of looked a little suspect. And then they had salsa and sour cream. And rice. It's a pretty basic taco that I have going on here. Nope. I'm starting to see where the complaints are coming from, especially if they got the tacos. Just not that meat.
It tastes like it looks.
Nate didn't do a transition here, so let's act like he did.
I'm back with the final plate. Actually, it's more like final 2 plates because their desserts are on little cute tiny plates. And then what I consider the main event. I mean, this thing could main event WrestleMania. It's that good. At least I remember it being that good. Their rolls with their honey butter. It's not as bad as it looks. It's garlic breadstick time. The best way I could describe it is it's missing something. There is something that needs to be on this that's not. I'm going to be so sad if this doesn't hold up. Oh yeah. Please taste as good as I remember. It does. It does taste as good as I remember. I stand by it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you think I'm crazy for saying this. That's better than a Texas Roadhouse roll. It is. All right, I'm gonna finish the rest of my food, and then I'm gonna see you guys in the car where we're gonna deliberate and find out what we're thinking about Golden Corral. Every review I read said that Golden Corral's service was terrible. My drinks never got filled up. My dirty plates just sat there until I left. That was not my experience. My server's name was Steven, I think he said he was. And he came and checked on me every single moment he needed to. Anytime I needed anything, Steven was there. So everyone who said bad service, you just haven't met Steven yet. Steven's wonderful. As far as a rating, I'm going to give Golden Corral like a 5 out of 10. It's basically pretty average. We have 2 more restaurants to try, but before we go to another restaurant that is allegedly one of the worst in America, I had to tell you that Jesus loves you. I'm not a preacher, nor do I want to be, but I do want to share a Bible verse with you that stood out to me last time I was reading the Bible. For the foolishness of God is wiser than any man's wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than any man's strength. And to me, that feels super reassuring, which is the reason I wanted to share it with you today. Because there's just something really great about knowing, no matter what life throws at me, no matter what possibly could go wrong in my life, that is the God, that is the one that is in my corner at all times. And more than anything in this world, I want that for you. And it is now officially time for us to head to allegedly the worst casual sit-down restaurant in America, Applebee's. I thought this shot was going to be a lot cooler than it is. 1 second. Much better. I actually brought my wife with me for this one. According to the same article that ranked Golden Corral as the worst restaurant in America, they also listed this one as the 2nd worst in America. And the review wasn't very kind. Here's what they said. Applebee's is the epitome of corporate trash. Just like Cracker Barrel, there's too much stuff on the walls. Watch it there, Mr. Article. This specific Applebee's actually has a picture of my brother on the wall, okay? Instead of antique garbage like Cracker Barrel, Applebee's puts up photos of local high school athletes. Oh, I thought my brother was special. I didn't realize every Applebee's did this. And then the article just kind of went on and on and on, so I'm going to paraphrase it for you. They basically said that Applebee's doesn't care about food quality because old people are going to eat here anyway. Huh? I'm not kidding. That's what the article said. And when I asked I Am Cherry what he thought about Applebee's, he told me that I had to have the baby back ribs.
Ooh, no, I like Applebee's. Applebee's, their ribs, amazing.
It's time to quit yapping. Let's go try allegedly the worst casual sit-down restaurant in America. That was a mouthful. So let's go put a mouthful of food in our mouths. So then we went inside and got our table. We decided to kick things off with an appetizer of spinach and artichoke dip, which normally we are really, really big fans of. Our spinach artichoke dip has arrived. Andrea gets first taste and first review.
It's pretty banging.
Now I have to see if I agree. Is it pretty banging, as she said?
It's banging, not banging.
That looks incredible. It has a much stronger spinach taste than I remember. I don't hate it. I don't love it as much as I used to. After not being super happy with the dip, I chatted with my wife while we waited for our entrees. I do not say it lightly when I tell you that my favorite thing to do with my wife is to go to a restaurant and just stare at each other and do nothing but yap. I cannot stress it enough just how much I absolutely adore this woman. Sorry, didn't mean to get too wholesome for you. Our food arrived after that. This was my first time ever ordering ribs at a restaurant, so I was impressed by the little things.
It came with towelettes.
But before I try my ribs, let's get my wife's review on her food.
I have the 4 cheese mac and cheese. I took a little sneak bite. No flavor.
I was going to dig into my ribs with a fork and a knife, but then I felt a little voice in the back of my head that said that might be a food crime.
The Asian sauce is really good.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, I got the Asian sweet chili sauce on the ribs instead of like normal barbecue sauce. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. After my first bite, I hate to break it to you, I caved. I went back to the fork and knife method. I know, I'm eating ribs wrong, and I am sorry about that.
So while I go against what the ancestors wanted and eat these ribs with a fork and a knife, enjoy this time lapse, and I'll let you know what I thought about it at the end.
We have thoughts on our food. I think my wife's thoughts are going to be better than mine, so babe, tell them about your mac and cheese.
It sucked. My pasta was cold and it was overcooked. 2.5 out of 10.
That's your ranking?
Yeah.
The sauce on the ribs was good, even though it was a little spicy. The ribs just weren't cooked good. We've made ribs at home, and it was way better than what we had here. I'm going to give it a 3 because it's just not worse than White Castle. You weren't there for that? White Castle was pretty bad. I'm going to go home, and we're going to talk about this next place because it is a special place. We have eaten at some of the worst restaurants in America, according to articles at least. But we have yet to eat at the worst restaurant in all of America, according to the king of eating bad food, I Am Cherry. All right, I'm done stalling. Roll the tape. Let's find out what he said.
The worst restaurant in America is CeCe's. CeCe's Pizza. Gotta be. CeCe's Pizza is so mid. CeCe's or Long John Silver's, but I'm giving it a CeCe's, man.
Well, we're now at CeCe's Pizza. I'm in the car because it's super windy outside and you wouldn't be able to hear me if I wasn't. Fun fact, there is a grand total of 2 CeCe's Pizzas in all of Ohio, and ironically, they are both attached to the weirdest grocery store in America, which I actually made a video about, so you should go check that out. So I took a 1-hour drive here. I obviously jammed out to some music that is totally not from a child's movie soundtrack, that's for sure. And now we're here to try some dry, old pizza, at least according to I Am Cherry.
If you think about it, bro, pizza, it dries up very fast. So if you have pizza out there for longer than, honestly, 15 minutes, it gets horrible. It gets so dry.
Also, before I go in, I wanted to go ahead and thank him for being a part of this video, and he wanted to share a quick message with you.
Well, Nate, thank you for having me. If you guys want to check me out, my YouTube channel is I Am Cherry. It should be somewhere right here, so subscribe if you want. And yeah. Peace.
All right, enough stalling. Let's see if this is really the worst restaurant in America. All right, so I have a couple thoughts already. First and foremost, the copyrighted music in this place is very loud. The other thought I have is that my grand total after tip was $13.70 for a pizza buffet. That's pretty awesome. So side mission to the mission is I'm going to try my best to get $13 worth of pizza put into my belly before I leave. So right here, I have a mac and cheese pizza. If you look at it, it does look dry and old, just like Cherry said it would.
That is the definition of mid. And of course, we're judging a pizza place. We gotta have a pepperoni pizza. Now, this one doesn't look dry at all. Oh, I really like the pepperoni on that. The cheese and the sauce is like, all right. It's not fantastic, but the pepperoni is pretty good. They also had a barbecue chicken pizza and it has like onions and other stuff on it. So I'm kind of excited for this. If you're a sweet barbecue fan, it's got a very sweet barbecue sauce on it. That's easily the best pizza I've had today. Just like pepperoni pizza, I feel like it'd be blasphemous to come to a pizza place and not rate their cheese bread or whatever. I wouldn't call it a bread stick. This is more like a slab. Okay, yeah, that tastes like styrofoam. That's my first plate down, so we got some more work to do, that's for sure.
As you see me throwing more stuff on my plate, allow voiceover Nate to jump in here. When filming, I initially gave my thoughts on every single bite of every single pizza, and if I included all of that, we would be here for well over an hour. So in an effort for you not to click off this video, I'm just gonna give you the highlights. Plate number 2 had cheese pizza, a cheddar cheese pizza, yes, that's different than regular cheese, a buffalo chicken pizza, and a pumpkin spice roll. The buffalo chicken was alright, the buffalo sauce was pretty good, but the pizza was old and dry. The regular cheese pizza just kind of tasted like cardboard if you threw sauce and cheese on it, but sort of in a good way. And then the cheddar cheese pizza was just bad. Nothing redeemable and just honestly not a very good idea for a pizza.
This has about as much flavor as cardboard. It's got nothing.
But then we get to the pumpkin spice roll.
That's really good. Hold on. That's banging.
Plate number 3, the final plate, because at this point I've consumed lots of bread, sauce, and cheese. I got more pepperoni pizza, the classic CeCe's bad brownie, and the surprise guest of the day, because I honestly wasn't expecting it, a stuffed crust deep dish pizza. I already told you about the pepperoni pizza like right at the beginning of CeCe's, so here's just a shot of me taking a bite of it. But let me tell you about that stuffed crust pizza.
This is a stuffed crust pizza that was on a buffet, and it's really hot. I'm excited for this. Right off the bat, that is significantly better than any of the pizza I've had today. If the #1 stuffed crust in all pizzas is at Pizza Hut, which I believe it is, this is like 2 steps below, which is crazy. For the rest of this place, it was $13.
And then, finally, it was time for the brownie.
If you've ever been to CeCe's, you know what I'm talking about. This is a brownie with a bunch of powdered sugar on top, and if I remember correctly, it tastes like Play-Doh, but in a really good way. I got choked on the powdered sugar. That right there is one of those things that is just so bad that's actually pretty good.
After I wrapped up my meal, I took a video of myself in the arcade just to say I did. I would have played games in the arcade, but they were all claw machines and like the cut the rope stuff. The stuff that you are not going to get anything out of, even if you try. Me, myself, I kind of like the arcade games where I can, you know, have fun and not just try to pick up a teddy bear. For instance, skee ball. Where was skee ball? My official ranking for CeCe's is gonna be like a 5.8. I don't know what everyone's talking about. It wasn't like fantastic. It was mid, but like for $13, you can get a lot of mid pizza, which is not a mid deal. That's a good deal. We're gonna go home and we're going to unveil the worst restaurant chain in America, according to just me and nobody else. Ladies and gentlefish, we have a pretty clear winner, or loser, depending on how you look at it, actually. The worst restaurant in all of America, according to actual science, and by actual science, I mean me eating it and telling you what I think, just my opinion, is hands down White Castle. I don't even remember what I rated all the other places, but I do know one thing. That White Castle was significantly worse than everything else. That was my second time ever eating there, and I know that it is very likely that that was probably my last time ever eating there. And I still got like 60 years left to live. I hope, at least. Thank you for watching this video. If you've watched all the way to the end and you haven't subscribed yet, that means you liked the video, and it means you're gonna like all the videos I'm going to post. So why not just subscribe? If you subscribed, I'd consider it your Christmas gift to me, because it's Christmas time. Yes, I'm aware it's November. I know. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and don't forget, Jesus loves you. Have a good one, everybody.